There have been quite a few new PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game reveals that have gone a bit under the radar, so I want to highlight some of those games, and let's just get right into it. I want to start things off with Paradise Lost, a story-driven adventure game that'll be coming to PS4 on March 24th for $14.99, so this is right around the corner, and this is a game that I would imagine would have a little bit more interest. Maybe that'll come to fruition once the game is actually out, but the game is set in winter of 1980. A boy raised in a post-apocalyptic wasteland finds an abandoned Nazi bunker. Will he find out what he's looking for? Play Paradise Lost and explore an underground world where Slavic mythology mixes with retro-futuristic technology. Discover the last story on Earth. Now, I think this was a game that was announced for PC for quite a while. Maybe the PlayStation 4 version just came together recently. Whatever the case may be, this is a game that I think is going to get a little bit of attention if it does have, if it does come out as a quality title. It notes the war persisted for 20 more years only to end in flames when the Nazis launched nuclear missiles on most of Europe. In the aftermath, the heart of Europe remains shrouded in the mystery of complete destruction and deadly radiation inaccessible to the rest of the world. You play as Szymon, a 12-year-old boy who's discovered a massive Nazi bunker while wandering the barren, nuclear wasteland of Poland. After his mother's death, he's searching for an unknown man from a photograph his mother cherished. Who is he? Will you be able to find him? So a lot of mystery surrounding the game, and I'm excited to see how this comes together. It does note that it's going to be more of a story-driven title, so that is something to look forward to. If you want a captivating story, I think you'll find it in Paradise Lost, and it is going to be priced at $14.99, so relatively well priced, all things considered. Again, that'll be out March 24th. Alright, next up, another game that's right around the corner. Sniper Ghost Warrior is back with Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. Now, I played quite a bit of Sniper Ghost Warrior and Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. I was always surprised that this franchise didn't resonate at a higher level. I mean, the whole idea of sniping, at least when I was growing up, like high school, middle school, bro, everybody was a quick scope god back in the day, and I just thought a game that was centered around that, I thought that was a lot of potential, with the gruesome animations and kill, shots. I thought that was going to be something that would resonate with a lot of people. Obviously, it resonated enough where the game has seen quite a few more entries. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is a tactical modern warfare shooter set in the Middle East. Play as Raven, contract sniper assassin, as you take out a series of targets across a dramatic single-player campaign with extreme long-range shots exceeding 1,000 meters. Gear up for the most thrilling entry in the series yet. Good to see the franchise is persisting, and it does seem like it does have a core audience. So the game is due out on June 4th, so right around the corner on this one as well. I imagine that it is going to be priced a little bit lower, and it is. It'll be coming at $39.99, which is pretty good, and it'll be on PS5, PS4, pretty much every platform outside of the Switch. So you can look forward to that. Also, you'll get some pre-order bonuses if you decide to pre-order. Okay, next up, we have the co-op adventure game We Were Here Forever. That's coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC sometime in Q4 of 21. Now, We Were Here getting some buzz as those games were free on the PlayStation Network, and now We Were Here Forever is the third entry and the latest entry in the franchise. And We Were Here Forever is the latest entry in the franchise. The game notes, you awake inside the sinister Castle Rock with no way out. Were you betrayed or simply not that clever? The We Were Here series is returning with a new co-op puzzle adventure. Do you and your friend have what it takes to face the dark forces of this realm, or will you be trapped forever? Now, obviously, this is a game that you'll want to play with cooperative play. That's the idea of We Were Here. And the game notes, 2-player co-op. The puzzles you encounter take 2 to solve. You both have a role to play. Communicate via walkie-talkies and act as each other's eyes and ears. Connect through experience. When you find yourself in sudden danger, you'll freeze, or you can keep cool and explain things clearly to your friend before your time runs out. Again, this one is a ways away, scheduled for a Q1 21 release, but it has been getting some buzz given that the games were free, and I should adjust Q4 of 21. So again, at the end of the year, you can check out We Were Here Forever. Okay, next up, here's a cool one that I think a lot of people are going to be all over. Tribute Games announced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I love the games on the PS2 or the GameCube. I forgot exactly what platform I played it on, but Shredder, an awesome character. This one definitely a throwback as a beat-em-up title. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge reunites Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael as they kick shell in a beautifully realized beat-em-up. Now, if you are a fan of old-school beat-em-ups, right away when looking at the game, the artistic presentation is exactly what you want out of a beat-em-up. It is true to old-school beat-em-ups, and I think it'll be right up the alley if you are into that. This is one that I could see being a blast and doing really well from a commercial standpoint. TMNT could have used a quality game a while ago. Hopefully this fits the bill as something that people are going to get invested into. It will be coming sometime, hopefully in 2021. No official release date announced, but hopefully this one goes smoothly. Also, as a beat-em-up fan, I think this is going to be one that if you're into games like Streets of Rage, it's going to be right up your alley. Alright, next up we have the roguelike dungeon RPG Dungeon and Gravestone, launching April 23rd for the PlayStation 4, so this one is out right around the corner as well, just a month and a half or so away. Now this game, right away when I look at the gameplay, reminding me something a little bit of 3D Dot Game Heroes, maybe not quite at that level, but definitely getting 3D Dot Game Heroes vibe, and that's definitely a good thing. I love that game on the PlayStation 3, and if we get something like that, I'll be all over it. The game notes: death and resurrection, death and resurrection. There is a world full of grief and sadness where only the end of life is certain. In this world, there is a city where people take annihilation for granted, and this city is grim like an empty shell. Who am I just stepping into the dungeon in front of me? Dungeons and Gravestone is a roguelike RPG where you die over and over again. Generated dungeons are full of difficult traps and puzzles. Put your life online and over 500 quests, weapon and item collection, and even fishing. How deep can you dive? Defy the unprecedented automatic dungeon generation algorithm and finally find out what lies beyond the deep dungeon. It'll be out on PS4, X1, and Switch on April 23rd, so look forward to that. Next up, we have Super Impossible Road, coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, X1, Switch, and PC in 21. This first released on Apple Arcade back in 2019 as an exclusive, and on next-generation platforms, Super Impossible Road will boast real-time shadows, reflections, and volumetric lighting, as well as running at 120 frames per second, which a game like this, a higher frame rate is definitely going to be beneficial. The game's key features note race online with up to 8 players at once, career mode featuring dozens of challenging levels and a multitude of modes, procedural generation creates a new track every time, robust single-player campaign and modes with leaderboards, full vehicle customization for boosting stats, play using intuitive touch controls, game controller or DualShock 4, and obviously you can use an Xbox controller if you're playing on Xbox, and you'll be getting a higher frame rate. Great soundtrack looking to be a part of the game as well, and this one is scheduled for release later in 21. And lastly, Signs of the Sojourner is bringing card-based conversations to PlayStation 4 on March 16th. So this game out next week and already releasing on PC back in May of 2020. Got a solid reception with 65 user reviews and 92% of those reviews being positive. It's touted to be a narrative card game about relationships and communication. Navigate conversations in a colorful world reminiscent of our own. Learn and grow through the cards you choose to play. Who will you become and what will you leave behind? Like the art style of the game, definitely different if nothing else compared to the typical game you see these days. And as a fan of card games, I liked how they're implementing this into a narrative-driven adventure. Got a 77 on Metacritic as well, so relatively well as far as that score. Again, this one is dropping March 16th, and that's going to wrap up this one. Again, not a lot of big-budget games. I mean, as far as those are concerned, I think we know about the majority of them, but still some cool games coming in the near future and the rest of 21. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.